Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Clean off my dashboard. Dust it off. Dust it off. Oh my gosh, it is 1:06 a.m. and I've had an extremely unproductive day today. But you know what? You have to have days like that every once in a while, right? I mean, it was probably just like everybody else's Sunday, but for me, I felt really unproductive. I was realizing today, so I got up and Alex and I went to brunch. We had a fantastic brunch and it just was really nice. It was cool in Indiana today and it was real rainy all day. And so we had a great brunch and oh my God, our new bedding is so fantastic. It's so cozy and comfortable. Boo Radley literally slept like right here and being like cuddled in it's like the blanket is so thick, the comforter that I got. And he just was snuggled into the comforter. It was so cute all night long. But we usually have two comforters, you know? And so now we only have one. So the dogs have to come up to our head and then Pee-Pee and Boo have to go under the blanket that way. And they're not used to doing that. They're used to especially Pee-Pee. He's used to just going underneath the blanket on the side in the middle of the bed, you know? So, there was a lot of traveling in the bed last night. There was a lot of up and down movement, and Tucker was off the bed, up the bed, off the bed, up the bed, up the bed, off the bed, up on the bed, jumping and getting toys the whole night. But, so we woke up today, and it was just kind of a day to just lay in bed all day. So I came home and Alex was like, I think I'm gonna just get into bed and watch TV all day. I said, all day? He goes, yeah, I think I'm just gonna watch movies all day. And I said, okay. He said, you don't really want to see Aladdin, do you? And I said, I mean, I will if you want me to. I go, but I'm not really in the mood today. He goes, okay, then I'm just gonna watch it. And I kind of really just wanted to sleep and catch up on some sleep today. So I went to Meijer and I wanted to get I'm waiting for a phone call for somebody. I think they're gonna be calling me in 2 seconds. So I went to Meijer and the heat just got really hot in here. And I got a notebook because I'm gonna start trying to put the shout outs in there, birthday shout outs, because I'm just getting so behind on people message me and then I feel bad. And I've gotten a couple messages from people that were I begged you for a birthday shout out and you didn't give it to me. And I'm literally getting, you guys, it's I'm getting so many birthday anniversary shout outs. And so I was okay, I have to kind of be a little bit organized at this point and I can't do a ton of them. I do think I'm going to do the Cameo thing for people that want a little bit of a louder, that too, but people that want a little bit of a longer shout out, you know, or something, or a little bit of a more personal message. I think I am going to do the Cameo thing. But, so I went there for that, and then I was looking through all the Halloween books, because they had all the Halloween kids books and stuff. And I looked in the back, I was like, what is that book? I've never seen that book before. And it kind of the cover kind of looks familiar to me. And, or the writing looked familiar to me of the way that the title was done. And it was Rainbow Rowell's new book. And I totally forgot that Rainbow Rowell was coming out. And I think it's called Pumpkinhead or Pumpkin something. Pumpkinhead, I think. She came out with a graphic novel for Halloween, and I was like, oh my God, I totally forgot this was coming out. And I knew it was coming out of October this year, but I totally forgot about it, and I don't know why it was up in Meijer, which whatever, you know. So if you don't know who Rainbow Rowell is a young adult author. She's also an adult author, and she wrote Fangirl, which was the very first book I ever read of hers, which is absolutely fantastic. It's about twin sisters that write fan fiction, kind of about Harry Potter, but the guy's name is Simon Snow in the book. And then they go to college, and one sister becomes very social, and the other one is kind of doesn't really want to leave her dorm room, and it's kind of what happens to them over the course of this school year. And it's one of my favorite books to this day that I've ever read. And then she went on after that, and she actually wrote the fan fiction, which is called Carry On. That was the book that she wrote about Simon Snow. And then she's written some other books. I can't think of her other young adult book that she wrote, but she wrote Attachments and Landslide. Those were two adult books that she wrote, and I loved those. And I actually wanted to come home today and just do some writing. That was my goal today, to do some writing, but I just had no motivation whatsoever. And so instead I went to so I got that book. I got the graphic novel. I'm real excited about that. I think I'm going to save it maybe for Spookathon. And because one of the challenges for Spookathon, which is the 14th through the 20th, I looked it up today. One of the challenges is, I think, to read a book in like a genre that you would normally read, and graphic novel is one of those for me. So, I mean, I've read a few, but I haven't really, I don't know if I've ever completed a whole no, last year for Halloween I actually did that one. It was like an elementary school graphic novel. I can't remember what that was called. It was actually kind of a cute book. But anyway, so then I talked to Tanya, and I can't remember. Just talked to a couple people, and then I came home, and it was like 5:45, and I got into bed, and I was talking to Alex, but he was like in the middle of watching this movie. He was like finishing one. He like watched like 3 or 4 movies today. And I said, we were supposed to watch American Horror Story tonight, and so I said, I'm gonna lay down for a little bit, and I said, I'm gonna take like a long nap, like a 3-hour nap. So I slept from like 6 to 9, and then I went to the grocery store, and I got us a bunch of crap food. I got him supremely spicy hummus, and I gotta pull in here and text my friend and see if this is her. Hold on a second. Supremely spicy hummus, mozzarella, he wanted string cheese, and hold on just a second. What else did I get him? There was something else he wanted. Oh, he wanted gummy bears. And he wanted gummy bears, and then there was something else I got him. Mozzarella cheese, pita chips, hummus, gummy bears. I feel like there was something else. Well, actually, let me, hold on a second, I'll tell you what I got him. I'm like sending him pictures. Like, this is my going to the grocery store look. I'm like, I don't know if you can see it, but I'm like sending him pictures. Are those the right pita chips? These Stacy's Pita Thins, spicy hummus, sea salted pita chips, black bag, blue writing, fat-free mozzarella, string cheese, but they didn't have fat-free, so it's got them regular. Gummy bears, and skinny popcorn, sea salt and light green bag. And then he sent me a picture of our friend. Our friend is getting married in a castle. We're going to that wedding. It's on Valentine's Day, I think. So that's exciting. And yeah, that was about my day. And then I took a nap forever. And then I got a Totino's pizza. I was like starving. I got a Totino's pizza, and then I got, I need to text my friend back. I got a Totino's pizza, and then I got hummus, and those Ritz, like, toasted chips or whatever. I really like those. And, hold on a second. And then, what else did I get? I think that was about it. Oh, and then I got stuff for tomorrow to review. And, okay, she's like in the middle of something. She's like, this is one of my sober friends. She's like, I'm gonna call you back. Just a second. I had somebody ask me the other day, it was so funny. They're like, so on your vlogs, you say like, your sober friends, or like, they're like, do you associate your friends as like sober friends, not sober friends? I was like, no. I said, you know, it's really funny. It's like, it's something that I only do on my vlog. And they're like, well, and this is like somebody that knows me in my real life, right? And they're like, yeah, I noticed that. Like, it's funny that you do it on there. And I was like, and they were, and this is actually a sober friend that asked me, and they were like, why do you do that? And I said, I don't know. I said, I think it's just because, like, in my mind, like, when I'm thinking, you know, it's like my friends that are in recovery that I go to meetings with, or that, you know, that, I mean, I do have several friends of mine. I have many friends of mine that are just in recovery that I talk to on a daily basis that you guys don't ever get to see. And it's kind of sad to me, you know? So I don't know. I think I just say it that way. But anyway. I don't know why I say that instead of just saying, you know, a friend. But, so that was my day. I didn't really do a whole lot. And then tonight, we watched American Horror Story. It was good. This is what always happens to me with American Horror Story, is that I get into it. And like I told Alex tonight, I said, it doesn't even seem to me like they really know where the storyline is going. Like, they're just kind of like figuring out as they go. I was kind of bored with tonight's episode. I mean, it's good, but I was kind of bored with it. I was just kind of like, okay, what's going on here? And then after that, I was like, I have got to be productive in something that I do today. And so I'm really going into the holiday season. I'm really trying to structure my review channel. Like, up till now, I've really just kind of gotten up and been like, oh, I'm gonna go to Starbucks today and do a review. And I love doing all that kind of stuff, right? But I've really, like, that's been kind of what I've done with it, instead of, you know, like, planning it out. Well, I'm having a lot of companies contact me, because they're wanting me to, like, review their stuff for holidays, and so they're like, you know, like, the holiday season is coming up. Well, I don't want to say what they are, because some of the things are really, really fun that people are contacting me about. They're things I didn't even know existed, you know, for the holiday season. Not Halloween, but, like, you know, Christmas. So, I want to really start doing that. And, like, you know, last year when I started my review channel, there were so many things I wanted to do with it that I haven't done with it. And the problem is that there's some of the things I wanted to do are kind of difficult. Or I think that they wouldn't make, like, really exciting reviews. What's interesting is, like I haven't done the Costco review yet, you know? And what's funny about that is that people, to this day, one of, like, the reviews that I get a lot of, like, emails about that they like is, like, and that people will ask me questions about, is Amazon Prime. Like, they like that I did the Amazon Prime review. So I should do more of that. Well, I was sitting there tonight and I was like, okay, I've been wanting to do subscription boxes forever. So something that I'm super interested in is subscription boxes. Like, I want to start ordering subscription boxes. Like, every single one of my friends has, like, 5 subscription boxes that they get a month, right? And they love them. They swear by them. They're like, I really use the stuff that I'm sent, blah, 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 whatever. So I got online tonight and I went through, I looked up every list of, well, not every one of them, but I looked up like 5 lists of the best food and candy, the best food or the best candy subscription boxes for 2019. It was like the best candy. That was like 26 boxes. And then I was like the best, you know, men's subscription boxes, the best women's beauty subscription boxes. I went through and I made a list and I came up with like 45 or 50 boxes that I want to try. So get ready. Excuse me. Because I'm going to be reviewing a lot of these boxes in the next couple months. And a lot of the boxes you can get like your first box for free. But you have to be very careful how you order it because like it auto renews, or you just have to pay shipping and handling and things like that. So I'm scheduling that out, how I'm going to do that. And yeah, and then, like, I'm just not a good, like, you know when you hear about, like, influencers, like, I hate that word. I think it's so corny, you know? But, like, you know when, like, I have a really hard time with the whole, like, I'm not opposed to doing that. Like, I would do a sponsorship if I do sponsorships, and I believe in them. Like, if they're sponsoring, if the company that is sponsoring you is something that you really, really believe in, right? And I'm like, you know, I haven't really done a whole lot lately. And, you know, I know like whenever like I talk to people, they're like, why don't you do more sponsorships? And I'm like, people don't reach out to me. Like people literally do not reach out to me, right? And the ones that have, like, I might get, let's say 5 or 10 a month that people reach out to me, and they're ones that I just really can't like endorse. They're ones that I just like don't really believe in it, you know? And so, today I was like, I think I'm going to reach out to a couple, like, products that I really believe in, you know, and see if they would, like, want to work with me. And I have some kind of really fun ideas of how I would do that video and whatever, you know. So anyway, I did that. So I was a little bit productive this evening. I really wanted to write today. That was my goal, and I didn't get it done, so, oh well. I will get it done. And then I made a list of the things I want to get done this week, which I only put 5 things on it, which was good for me because usually on my lists, I put like 50 things and then I don't get anything done. So I put 5 things, and they're the 5 things that I really want to get done this week. And they're not like huge things. And then I made my list for tomorrow, which is not really that big. And yeah. So that's about it. Do you guys keep up with like the drama of the beauty influencer community, or just watch my vlog because you watch my vlog and you don't know anything about the beauty influencer community? Did you guys hear that Jeffree Star's dog passed away when he was in emergency surgery? So tragic, isn't it? Makes me so sad. Like, I just can't even, I mean, he just lost a dog like 2 months ago, 3 months ago. I can't even imagine what that's like, you know? Like, I was thinking about it today, because, like, I mean, obviously, Jeffree Star is, like, on a huge level compared to me, right? But, like, how do you even, like, go on, like, in the public eye? Like, I just think I would shut down about something like that. You know, I guess with my aunt, like, I was doing YouTube. My uncle passed away, I was doing YouTube. Well, when both my uncles, my dad's brother and my Uncle Dave passed away, I was doing YouTube. But with my uncle, I was kind of prepared for it because he had been sick for so long. With my aunt, I was kind of prepared for it. I do think this, like, I think now, today, I would take whatever time I needed. You know, like, in the past, I have felt super driven, but like if I needed to take a couple days, and I know that nobody would be like, you know, I can't believe you're not posting videos right now, you know, if like I lost a dog or a family member or a friend or something like that. And I'm sure, you know, people understand that about Jeffree Star too. I was kind of wondering if they were gonna, like, I don't know when the next part of the series is supposed to come out with Shane, but I was like, I wonder if they're gonna like postpone that. Because of this right now, I did see that Shane put something out about his dog. It's just so sad. I just can't, I mean, I cannot imagine losing 2 dogs. I think, you know, grief from pets is like one of the most, you guys, I just have to tell you right now, okay? Manny MUA sent me his, the PR for his new release, which it is absolutely beautiful. That makeup palette called, I think it's Spellbound, Spellbound, I think it's Spellbound. But he sent me one of his lip glosses, and I wanted his lip gloss for a long time. You guys, I am obsessed with this lip gloss. It is really, really good. And it smells like cake batter. And somebody was asking me in my live stream last night, like, if it's really gloopy. It's not. Like, it goes on, and then, like, within 5 minutes, it's like your lips are glossy. But it's not too much. It feels like it's gonna be too much a little bit at first, but then it's not. But I think that grief from pets is something that we don't really talk enough about in our society. I think we don't really know how to talk about it in our society. You know, we don't really know, like, what to say about that when, you know, and it's like, I think often it's about just like, people just expect, you know, you to move on right afterwards, you know? I don't know. I think about the fact that, you know, like the vet told us, I mean, she really only thought he was going to make it 6 months, and it's now been, we're coming up on 2 years. Like, that is crazy to me. And, like, I really want to see him make it to 13 and a half. But she was lying to me because she thought he'd only make it to 6 months. She was like, Peter, I just didn't think you could handle the truth that day. And I've had that date in my head, and October is 13 and a half. And in the last 2 weeks, we're not really friends so much with these people anymore, but I follow them on Instagram and stuff still, but they're here in town. Like, there's a gay couple that we're friends with. They started dating about the same time we did, and Alex knew them from IU and stuff, and they're married. Excuse me, they're married, and they're really nice guys. But they have like 2 dogs, and both of their dogs, you guys, died within like the period of like 4 to 5 weeks. And then another friend of ours that we knew from back in the day, like when we were going out a lot and stuff, I had literally just seen him too at the Horror Hound Festival weekend, the Horror Hound weekend, and like his dog died. Like, I like got on because I wanted to see his pictures from Horror Hound weekend, and I like his dog had died like the day before, and like every picture on Instagram is like him and his dog. He's like a really nice guy, and I was just like, I don't know, it's just so weird to me, you know, like, I just don't even know what I would be like if I was like, I'm gonna get real emotional, but like if I came home and like Pee-Pee wasn't there, or like, you know, Boo and Tucker, or like, I don't know, you know? And I think this a lot, like, you know, when we look at these YouTubers and whatever, it's like, people think like people get the real, like, they're just real misguided, I think, sometimes about what I think about these people. People are like, oh, you hate Jeffree Star, or, you know, it's so funny because like on the same video I'll get comments and people will be like, oh, you kiss Jeffree Star's ass, and then other people will be like, you hate Jeffree Star. And I'm like, I really, as a beauty influencer, I really just like am totally indifferent to the man. Like, I just really don't have any, you know, there really aren't a lot of beauty influencers, there really aren't a lot of YouTubers anymore that I just feel really like emotionally invested in. I mean, I really, like, there just aren't a lot of, it's kind of sad, honestly. There just aren't a lot of YouTubers that I feel really, really emotionally invested towards. I have to say, like, you know, one of them, this is kind of crazy, is that Jessica Kent that I did the video with, you know, like the girl that she does like the prison videos. There's something about her that I just adore. And then I'm trying to think of who else, like, I watch that. I don't know, but you know what's weird? I just remembered I had a dream about Elijah Daniel earlier tonight. But, you know, in all honesty, I kind of always have gone through periods where it's like, I'm real emotionally invested and I watch everything that somebody puts out, and then there are moments that I don't put anything out. But what I was going to say about Jeffree Star is, like, no matter what people think about him, can you even imagine, like, at this time going through something like that? I mean, at the end of the day, you know, he's a human being. He's a man, you know, that has emotions and has feelings attached to this. And I can't imagine, like, what that's like, you know, to have to lose 2 dogs. You know, and I think the thing is that no matter how much money you have, no matter how glamorous your life is, no matter how poor you are, no matter what you don't have, you know, I think that pain is universal in that, and that we all feel pain, you know, like when we're going through really tough times like that. I don't wish that on anybody, you know, and I definitely don't wish it on the dog either. I think it's just so sad, you know. Those dogs are so cute. His dogs are absolutely adorable. It was at the end. It was at the 23 and a half minute mark, and I didn't even realize it. So anyway, yeah, it's funny. People ask me a lot. They're like, who do you watch on YouTube? I just kind of like, okay, so, like, this is going to sound kind of strange, but Alex sent me this song the other day, this Andy Grammer, Don't Give Up on Me. It's from the movie 5 Feet Apart. I think I talked about this on here last night. So then he sent me another a version of it with this guy, and he goes to S22, which is a public school, I guess, in New York City, or New York or something. And it's like this elementary school choir. And apparently they've done like award shows and everything. I've never heard of them before. They're unbelievable, you guys. It's all these kids in like this like auditorium, I mean, it's probably, I don't know, 25, it's probably 50 or 60 kids in this auditorium, and they're just like in jeans and like t-shirts, right? And they all have like the same t-shirts on that say things. You can't see what they say, but anyway, it's just like they're sitting there and they're singing, and they're real exaggerated when they sing, but their voices, I mean, literally, like, I mean, I know it sounds corny, but like Voice of an Angel, like they literally are an unbelievable choir. Well, yesterday and today, I just like would sit there. Their videos are like 2 or 3 minutes long because it's really like they just do a cover of a song. This is what happens to me on YouTube, is I kind of like get obsessed with somebody and then I just like watch all their videos on their channel. Nick and Poncho, the dog with the chihuahua, which I don't know what happened to him, and I'm kind of a little worried. Like, he changed his channel and now he's not posting on his new channel. So I don't know what's happening with all of that, but like I'm kind of like a little addicted to this, watching this choir. They're fantastic, and they did a rendition of A Landslide by Fleetwood Mac. I bawled my eyes out, you guys. I literally bawled my eyes out. I was like, this is so beautiful. I was like sending it to all of my friends today. I was like, you have to listen to this. So I kind of go like down like that, you know. There's this gay YouTuber that I used to watch. I used to watch a lot of gay YouTubers. I don't really as much anymore. I mean, I do every once in a while, but like, well, Mark Miller and Ethan Heathcote, they're from Indiana. They broke up, I think, but like, then they got back together, and then like their breakup video, they took down. I don't know, it's real weird. Like, you can't find anywhere on there's no like mention of them breaking up. And like, they broke up and like Ethan got another apartment, and like that video is not even up there and anything. It's just, and then they just put out a video a couple weeks ago called something like We're Boyfriends. Something like, this is a like boyfriend tag because we're boyfriends or something like that. I don't know, it's very confusing, but I don't know why they did all that. Like, they did this whole video saying I can't believe that we're making this video because we never thought we would be making this breakup video. And I'm like literally sitting there watching it. I'm like, did I lose my mind? Like, did they post this? Did they not really post this video? And I made the whole thing up in my head, but like they did post the video. I saw it. And now those videos are gone. So anyway, I don't really care. They seem like a real sweet couple, but Mark Miller went to Ball State, and he actually was like friends with a lot of like guys that Alex knew and used to hang out with because they're like closer in age. So I knew like some of their common friends. And then Ethan Heathcote, his boyfriend, went to IU, and Mark moved down there, and that was like when the channel started getting big. And now they live in LA. But there was this guy named Andrew Neighbors, and his channel used to be called Andrew Goes Places, and he's an optometrist. And oh, my friend's calling me. Hold on, I'll finish this and I'll call her right back. But he's like an optometrist or ophthalmologist or whatever, I don't know. But anyway, he does like YouTube videos, and he did this video today about like, he went to this party, and it was like this LGBTQ plus party in LA, and he was talking about how Jane Fonda was there and stuff, and yeah, it's my friend, I need to call her back. But he was like, that he was like comparing himself to everybody else, and he just like, he didn't feel like his accomplishments, you know, like meant as much as anybody else. And it's interesting because like watching this guy, and I'm like thinking to myself, you know, like, this is somebody that like, he's in great shape. Like, I wish I was in great shape, that, you know, and he's like very educated. I mean, he's like a doctor, you know, on YouTube. Like, he doesn't even need to be doing YouTube. He's talking about wanting to act more and wanting to put out more creative content and all this kind of stuff. And he was like, I just realized, you know, that instead of like constantly, it was like a really great video, and I hadn't watched a video of his in like forever, and he was just like traveling. He was like in a hotel room, he did it on his phone, and he's like, you know, I realized at this party that like, he went home that night, and he was like, instead of like constantly comparing myself to other people, he was talking about like, when he looks on Instagram, he compares himself to somebody else on Instagram, and when he's on this, he compares himself to that, you know, the other YouTubers. And he even mentioned, he said, I compare myself to like Mark Miller and like Tyler Oakley and Joey Graceffa and whatever. And have you seen those puppies of Joey Graceffa and Daniel Prada? Oh my God. Their like dog had puppies, and their puppies are adorable. And Daniel is like crating them and like making these areas for them to live. It's so sweet to watch the whole thing go down. But anyway, I love to see healthy couples like that together on YouTube, that you also see that they're like normal couples. Like, that's enjoyable for me to see. Like, that they're not like, hi, we're perfect. Like, all those perfect YouTube couples are kind of not even on YouTube anymore, and they're not even together. So But I mean, I think it's all good for us to have, you know, to see like I think it's good for if you're in a couple to see other couples that are similar to you, and to have other friends that are couples that are similar to you and things like that. But anyway, his video was so good, and it was like just really simple. It was like him talking into the camera, and it was just like in a hotel room, and he was like his phone camera, and he was like, you know, I realized that I can't compare myself to other people anymore. And I think to myself, like, this is the stuff that I say on my Peterisms channel all the time, but like to hear it from somebody else is like, I needed to hear it. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I know it, I say it, but like I needed to hear it from him, like somebody different, you know? Maybe not him, just anybody. And he was like, I started making a list of what my successes were that I had achieved in the last couple years. And I started making a list of like all of the things that I had, you know, all of my goals that I had achieved in the last year. He goes, instead of making a list of goals that I want to achieve, I made a list of goals that I had achieved. So then I could look at and see like how successful I had been over the last couple years. And I was like, that is smart. Like, that's good, you know? Because I think sometimes we're so hypercritical of ourselves, we don't want to be honest with ourselves about like how successful we have been in things. You know, whether that's just like, I learned how to cook this new recipe, or I graduated from college, or I got this job, or I've been in a relationship for 11 years, you know, or I've been married for 8 years. Like, to me, those are things that I've been successful at and I'm very proud of, you know? And so, I don't know, it was like really great to hear that, and I love that suggestion about like making a list of goals that he had succeeded. I thought, this is like a fantastic idea. I really like that. So I just watch like random stuff. You know, a lot of times when I'm on YouTube, whatever's being recommended to me is what I'll watch. So it's just like random stuff. Well, I mean, obviously if you're watching like 10 alien videos in a row, you know what's gonna come up as alien videos, right? So, all right, listen, I'm gonna call my friend back, and I will be back in 2 and 2. Okay, I'm back. I was driving around listening to music, and I was just, I forget about, I was talking to a friend of mine earlier today, we were talking about movies, and I had brought up, what was that movie? Bird on a Wire with Goldie Hawn. I love that movie so much, and I love that song by the Neville Brothers. Well, they remade this song, I guess, but, so I was like, I love to get on my iPod or whatever on my phone. Is that what it's called, your iPod? And do you remember when we had the little nanos, the little nano iPods? Now everybody just listens to it on their phone, right? But my brother-in-law was laughing at Alex and I because we buy music on iTunes, and he was like, why don't you guys just use Spotify or Apple Music? I was like, we really didn't have a good answer, but we buy music. So, I like to get on my iPod and then just shuffle it. And the theme from I feel like I'm kind of like up close and personal. Oh, it needed to be put back a little bit. But the theme to St. Elmo's Fire came on. And I was like, I'm singing this in my video tomorrow, where it's that one part at the very end. I love that song so much. Well, I love that movie so much. It's the truth of the nature. But I love that part where it's like, just once in his life, a man has his time. My time is now. I love that part so much. But I was thinking about like when I was like in high school, you know, and even like when I moved into my apartment, because I moved in my apartment, you know, I was like 18, and like I would have these movies that I just like watched on repeat over and over and over again, you know, and I always like, this is something that stopped when I started dating people, because none of my boyfriends, and especially not Alex, like to go to sleep with the TV on. None of my boyfriends did that I had before, but Alex really doesn't. Like, it has to be pitch black in the bedroom for him to go to sleep. And, like, he loves when we go to a hotel and we have, like, blackout curtains and stuff. I do, too, but I'm always afraid I'll sleep for, like, 20 hours. But I used to always go to sleep with, like, a movie on in the background, like in the VCR, and then I would just, like, wake up and, like, you know, it'd be, like, snow on the TV or whatever. For a long, it was kind of seasonal what I would like fall asleep to, but typically like St. Elmo's Fire was not something that I would like fall asleep to, but St. Elmo's Fire was definitely a movie that I would like get ready to go out. I had like movies that I would get ready to, and that was like, well, Absolutely Fabulous I would get ready to a lot. But that was kind of on when I was getting, like, that was like on TV at the time that I was, what do you call it? Going out a lot. Because we would like have viewing parties and stuff of Absolutely Fabulous. I love that show. But like I always had these movies that I would watch like to get ready to go out. I'm trying to think of what else I watched. Well, to go to bed, like To Kill a Mockingbird. They were always very homey movies. Like if the movie made me feel kind of homey inside, I think like that was a movie that I would fall asleep to. Like after Halloween, it was always Christmas movies. It was like Ziggy's Christmas, which I still have on VCR, and Hobo's Christmas, which was like this movie, and what else? Just like the Peanuts Christmas, I would like fall asleep to that and stuff. Like I would put it on in the background. I don't know, it just made me feel homey, you know, to like have like these Christmas movies. Miracle on 34th Street, the old one. I like the new one too though, but like the old one too. But you know, I would just watch these movies to fall asleep. One Magic Christmas, I love that movie. It's very depressing, but I had a lot of movies that I would just have on in like my apartment, like, and also like when I was in high school, like at both my mom and my dad's house, you know, like, St. Elmo's Fire was one of those. My friends and I were obsessed with the movie St. Elmo's Fire. Any of the John Hughes movies we were obsessed with. We loved like 16 Candles and Pretty in Pink. I loved Pretty in Pink. I so related to Andy and Pretty in Pink. I kind of thought I was her in high school a little bit, but you know, because I made clothes and stuff. And then, this is really funny, but like my friend group, like we had two movies. And the first movie was, like our first big movie was The Big Chill. And we would watch that movie, like, whenever, like I had these two friends of mine that were twins, and they were like the youngest of 6. And they had brothers and sisters, like, so when we were in high school, they had siblings that were like in their 30s. And their parents were like never home. Like their dad was always like out of town on vacation. And, their mom was really, really involved in the church. They were Catholic. And so, like, she was either in the kitchen, like, reading the Bible. Like, always. Like, she'd be sitting at the kitchen table reading the Bible. We were, like, when we were there. Or, she was, like, working at the church. Because she did a lot of stuff for the church. She worked for, like, a huge church in the north side. But anyway, like, they would go out of town a lot. When they went out of town, we would go over there and hang out. I remember this one weekend we were so excited. Like one weekend we got into a lot of trouble because like we each told our parents that like we were staying over at none of our parents cared if we stayed over at somebody's house, but we all told them we were staying over at their house and that their parents didn't care. And like none of our parents checked for some reason. My mom was always the parent that would check, but like nobody checked, and their parents were out of town, and they like all of our parents found out. It was like this huge deal. But anyway, so then they have this babysitter, and I don't know why, we called her Eyebrows. She had something funny with her eyebrows, but it was like this woman that like worked at the church, and she was like, I don't care if you guys smoke cigarettes, but you have to smoke them out on like, they had this like screened-in porch, and I remember it had like this green like turf kind of stuff, but it wasn't like turf, but it wasn't like carpet, but I remember we like like burnt holes in the carpet, and they were like, my one friend was like just so hungover that Sunday before parents came home, and she was like going around, she was like panicking, and she was like on the floor with like these scissors cutting out like burnt areas of the carpet, and it so looked like a disaster site. Oh my god, we were so funny in high school. And but we would all watch The Big Chill, and then we each, like, you know, each of us thought we were like one of the characters, and we would always say that we were going to get back together when we were like their age. I was thinking about this the other day because I was like, we're like past their age now, and like we never got together and did it, you know, like had a reunion. A couple years ago, my friends that are twins, their dad passed away. So they came home, and my friend and I, my other friend that lives here in town, I have a couple friends from high school, a couple, 2 or 3 that live here still. And my other friend, she and I went and picked them up, and then we drove around, and we listened to the Smiths, and we listened to The Cure, and my other friend, she still, like, we still listen to that kind of music, but, like, they don't listen to that. They, like, went to IU and became, like, total hippies. And, so we, like, drove around, listened to the Smiths and The Cure, like, all the stuff that we used to listen to in high school. And then we went to my friend's house. She has a condo, and she ordered pizza. It was, like, and it really was weird. It was, like, no time had kind of passed by. I'm gonna see if this exit is open, because I haven't been down here in a long time. It was kind of like no time had passed by, and, so anyway, we had a great time, and, but we said then that, like, we should all get together, you know? I kind of wish they'd all come home for the 30th. I know they won't. Like, my friends, like, we were so different in high school, but, like, we're still, like, really all different now. Like, okay, so, I kind of had, like, I shifted best friends, but, like, my best friend, my junior and senior year she's a year younger than me, and we have the same birthday, and she lives in Portland, so she wouldn't be coming home for the 30th anyway. I mean, she might, but I doubt it. She, like, never comes home. I don't even know the last time that she came home. She came home, like, the last time she came home was before Alex and I were together, because I remember I went and got her. She called me, and she's like, do you want to hang out? And we hung out for a little bit. Oh, you know what? I have a really good friend. She watches my vlog. This is so funny. And she and I need to get together. She watches my vlog every single day, and she knows exactly who I'm talking about right now, because she was good friends with her as well. And because she was my friend that I'm talking about that watches my vlog, she's a year behind me. And, but she wasn't really kind of part of that friend group. You weren't part of that friend group. You were part of, like, another friend group. She was part of this friend of mine that had, like, had long dark hair, and she was in my grade, and there was, like, 3 or 4 of us that we used to hang out too. So I had, like, kind of, like, 2 different friend groups that sometimes were one big friend group, if that makes sense. But anyway, so this girl was, like, my best friend in high school, though, the one that lives in Portland, and she never comes home. And then, but then I had my best friend, from elementary, junior high, high school, and college, and graduate school. She and I think this construction is still going on over here. I've wanted to take this road so bad, though, for so long. She and I were, like, so there was, like, okay, in high school, it was she and I, and then it was my friends that were twins, and then it was this other girl, and then this other girl that lives here that we were friends with in junior high and high school. I kind of came into the group late. I've talked about that. And then it was this other girl that I became friends with my senior year. She and the girl from, like, that I knew all the way through. I just wish I could say their names, but I can't. That I was friends with all the way through. The 3 of us became super, super close in college. And then this friend of mine with the long dark hair that I was talking about, I think she is coming home for the reunion, because I saw it on, like, this, like, thing where people are talking about it. Can I go through here? Is it closed? Detour, road closed. Detour is this way. Oh, I can't go through here. Oh, it's open now. Okay, hey. I've been wanting to take this little road forever. These little cute houses through here. It's like this one town you drive through, you don't even know you're in the town. This is my coffee today. It was blueberry something. I don't think it's blueberry crumble, because I got, like, a new coffee at Patachou, like a new coffee company. I thought I would be unhappy about the coffee, but I like it. So anyway, I don't know. There was, like, at, you know, any given time, there was, like, 4 or 5 of us. But with the twins, like, my sophomore and junior, like, my sophomore year, I was friends with both of them, but towards the end of my sophomore year and the beginning of my junior year, I was really good friends with one of the twins. But then she kind of started dating this guy, and he was, like, in a band, and she was always, like, at his, like, band practices. And then my friend, who I had known all the way through, she had a boyfriend sophomore, junior, and senior year, and he was a year ahead of us. Really nice guy. He's sober today. It's really crazy. I got like an email from him. Not an email, like a Facebook message like 10 years ago or 15 years ago, whatever I got on Facebook. And he was like, sober. Like, we were like literally like a year apart with our sobriety. It was so weird. And he had moved far away and I didn't even know he was sober. But anyway, so she was like hanging out with him a lot. And that was kind of like why, like, we were friends in high school, but like in college, we definitely became closer friends. Because we went to school together. We drove down to school together and everything. Like, we were in a lot of the same classes in college. We purposely planned it that way, you know. But, and then we would hang out at night together and stuff like that. I hope this car just passes me by because I'm not really in the mood and I just kind of want to be chill. You can pass me, dude. It's like the passing right here. They're waiting for this truck to go by and then they're gonna pass me. Now they have a solid yellow line. And they're pissed. Oh my God, okay, they are like riding my butt. So anyway, but we would like all watch The Big Chill together and we would always say like that was our movie and whatever that we were gonna do. If you're gonna pass me, but you riding my, coming like up and back and all that kind of stuff. I can't stand when cars do that. And you know they're just cussing you out in there. And I'm going fast anyway, I'm going the speed limit. I wish they would all come home for the reunion and then we could like all hang out. I think that would be really fun. But so my one friend that I was like, she was like, the only reason I say she was like my best friend in high school is because she and I hung out probably the most. And she knew the most about me. So like my sophomore and part of my junior year was one twin, and then the second part of my junior year, my senior year, was the other twin. And she literally probably was, like my senior year, she was probably my closest friend with this other girl. Like the three of us hung out the most. And then when they all went to, because they all went to IU, and they moved into this dorm called Collins, and if you're from IU or Indiana, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's like the hippie, artsy dorm. And then they became like all like, they followed the Grateful Dead and did all that kind of stuff, which is kind of how I got into the Grateful Dead and all that. And then, my friend that was a year behind me, she ended up moving. So she and I must have hung out. I feel like I'm talking to my friend that watches my vlogs. She and I need to get together because I kind of forget a little bit. This must be how I like hung out with a lot of people that were like a year behind me, because I was still in Indianapolis and my friend had her boyfriend that was still, they were like, you know, they didn't live together, but they practically did. Oh my God, I just remember this. So her boyfriend lived with her sister because her sister was like 10 years older than her. And he lived with her sister. So she was always over at her sister's house. Okay, so I think that's why I hung out with a lot of people that were like a year younger than me. Plus, I had a girlfriend, she was a year younger than me too. So when I was like my first year in college, she was like a senior in high school. But I think we had broken up by then. I don't know. Anyway, and then she came out when she went to IU as a lesbian, and I was out already, so. But, and then my two friends that are twins, one lives, well, they both live in Washington. One lives on a commune, true story, okay, lives in communal living, and she's a naturopathic physician, is that how you pronounce it? And she's like really well known in like this area that she practices, like not like the area of the country, but like what she does. And then her sister lives like an hour away from her, and she's like some kind of teacher. She does like this Waldorf schooling or something like that she used to. I don't know. They're still very hippie-ish. But when they came, it was weird because they were kind of like, I hate to think, they would laugh if I said it, but I would say it to them too. They're kind of like sold out hippies. Like they were like in Patagonia, like they both like, I think like do very well, even though they live in communal living. And they have like, they had like Patagonia jackets on and jeans, and their hair, like they used to have like dreadlocks and stuff, was like, you know, just like curly and like shoulder length. And, but like they really hadn't aged a whole lot. It was weird. And then my friend that lives here, the one that went to the reunion, who was bitter as hell at the reunion. She's still kind of bitter, Susan, a little bit sometimes. But she just lives here. She's not a whole lot different than she was in high school. And then my other friend that I became friends with my like senior year, she and I were like diehard. Like she was really close with my mom, and I was really close with her mom. Her mom like passed away like when we were in college. It was really sad. And she was like my best friend in college. She really helped me with my sobriety and stuff. She also really helped me with my drinking, but when I got sober, she was really supportive of me and stuff. And she literally lives about 5 blocks from me, and I never see her. Like, I never see her. And she's no different than she was in high school, too. She's still exactly the same, and her husband are very cool, and they own a very cool business together. And then my one friend that I went to like kindergarten, I had 2 friends, the one that I stayed really close with, but then we had another friend that she was super close with, and I was kind of close with, but anyway, she still lives here, and she has kids and is married, and she kind of became her parents a little bit. But I don't think any of us would be surprised about that. And then my friend that watches my vlogs, I have to say, well, I don't really know a whole lot, because we haven't caught up yet, but we talked on the phone. If you had asked me in high school, I want her to watch this and be like, oh my God. If somebody had said, what do you think she'll do? Like in 30 years, where do you think she'll be? I would have said, I think she will be married to somebody that has just a shit ton of money, but is like super artsy. She dated this guy in high school. You dated this guy in high school. I can totally see him in my head, and I cannot remember his name. I think his first name was Josh, but anyway, but I could be wrong. But he was like real cute and had like curly hair, and I can remember he used to like, he thought I had a crush on her, and he would like get shitty with me about stuff. I don't know why I remember that. But I would have just thought she was like some world traveler today. She was very cool. She was very different in high school. She was mysterious. My friends and I, we were all a little bit mysterious. Or at least we thought we were. I don't know. We really weren't. We were just kind of your average, I don't know. All of us were so different in our own way too. It's like none of us were really like the next. You know what I mean? Like in high school, like it wasn't like we were all like the same cookie cutter types, like our friends. Like none of us really fit together. I think I like to try to think of myself as like a lot more different than I really was in high school. I definitely, like, my clothes and stuff were kind of a little different. I mean, I definitely didn't dress like everybody else. I do know that. But like, I don't know that... I think one thing that would really surprise people probably about me is that if I wasn't with my friends, like after school, like in school, I was kind of scared of my own shadow. Like I think my friends back then would say that about me today. Like they would have said, like Peter, like if somebody was picking on Peter, he would never have stood up for himself. Like he never, I just, you know, I had been beaten down for so long. I'm just kind of like that in my life in general. Like, I don't know, there's like, there's a lot of people, like that's where my mom said to me, you know, if you don't value somebody, if you don't value somebody, don't value their opinion, basically, you know, like, and I kind of just always had that belief, you know, that like, I'm not going to defend myself to idiots, and I knew that I was going to, like, you know, lose the fight anyway, so what was the point? Like, people used to come and be like, I'm going to beat your ass after school at 3 o'clock, and you meet me here, and I'd be like, there's no point. And they'd be like, why not? And I'd be like, because you're going to beat my ass, and it's so why even fight? And they would just look at me like, huh? I'm like, see, there's no point. But, like, yeah, I didn't really defend myself in high school. I'd be kind of interested to know, like one of the things, I mean, I don't know why this surprised me at the time, but it doesn't surprise me now, is that like literally all of my friends after high school, when I came out, they were like, yeah, we all thought you were gay. Like, and I look back, and I mean, I was so obviously gay in high school, but like, I thought at the time, like, I was keeping it a pretty good secret. Like, I knew I was effeminate, and I knew I was effeminate acting, but like, because people picked on me constantly, so how did I not know that, right? But at the same time, like, I thought, I guess if you don't say that you are, then it doesn't mean that you are. I don't know. I want to do a video with one of my friends from high school about, like, and then have people send in questions about do like a Q&A with them, but I don't know what friend to ask to do it with. Like, it would have to be somebody that is so far off the grid because, you know, like, I do not want them being, you know, picked apart by my haters. And so it's got to be somebody that, you know, either that or they really don't care, you know, if people find them on social media and stuff like that. Most of my, you know, what's funny is most of my friends are not on social media. Like, most of my friends do not even have Facebook from high school. Like, okay. My best friend that I was friends with elementary through high school or through graduate school, she's nowhere to be found on social media. She has no Facebook, no Instagram, no nothing. My friends that are twins, one of them got Facebook and I haven't seen her post it since. And like her profile picture is like, it's so random and her name is not even her name. Like, I'm like, what? Like I got the, it's like some real hippie deal. And I got like this request years ago and I was like, who is this person? And then like she sent me a message and she was like, oh, I just want you to know it's me, blah, 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 whatever. And then two of my friends do have a lot of social media. Like they have, you know, everything. But other than that, that's about it. Most of my friends don't from high school. Stopped. I didn't know I was at the end. I wish they did, you know, so I could see what was going on with their life. But I like never get on Facebook. I hate Facebook. I like pulled it up today when I was at what do you call it, brunch. Like we were just like sitting there, we were like waiting for a check and stuff, and I like pulled up Facebook. And I like hadn't checked it in like 3 days or something. And so I tweeted out, hi. Or not tweeted out, I put on Facebook, hi. I like never put anything on Facebook. I think like my last post was probably 2 months ago or more. And I was like, this is so funny. I was like looking through these things and I was like, I don't care about any of this stuff on here. You know, like this police officer is coming. But I was like reading through these things and I was like, well, first of all, I don't even know half the people that I'm friends with on Facebook. You know, like when you meet somebody and like, they're like, oh, are you on Facebook? And you're like, yeah. And they're like, okay, I'll friend request you. Well, first of all, just so you know, I don't accept friend requests from people that I don't know anymore. I just don't do it. When, and this has been long-standing on YouTube. When I first got on YouTube, I would get like, I mean, I didn't get a lot of friend requests from people that I didn't know. This is at the first, I'd say like the first 6 months. I would get like 2 to 3 a day or something like that, right? And I would just, you know, every once in a while I would just go in and I would accept a couple of them. Well, Melissa called me one day and she was like, have you seen your Facebook today? And I go, no, why? And she's like, this woman is literally going in and she is like commenting like she was using like the F word, you know, the F-A, you know what word that they call gay people. And she was going in and she was like citing scripture and calling me horrible names and wishing horrible things on me and my family. It was ridiculous. And I went in and I like blocked her and I removed the comments and I just was like, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, okay, my social media is open, my Instagram is open, my Twitter is open. I'm not doing this anymore. So on Facebook, I don't know why my phone just went off. That was so crazy. It just like lit up. I didn't get a text. That is so crazy, you guys. My phone literally just lit up out of nowhere. Why is that? I don't like that. People in my videos lately have been saying that they've been seeing orbs and stuff around me more. Isn't that weird? I don't see it. I always think it's like a trick of the light or something, but I think I said that on here the other day. But anyway, after that, I just was like, I won't, like, I have my Facebook page, which I hardly ever post on, you know, and I was like, I have Instagram and I have Twitter, and if people want to follow me, they can follow me there, and like, and I hate saying that, you know, but like, there's nothing of mine on Facebook anyway, but like, because I don't post on it. But I was just like, I'm not doing this anymore. And now I get like friend requests, like I get a lot of friend requests on Facebook. Like a lot. Like if I went in and showed you my friend request, you would die. Like, I mean, I have so many like on there that I'm just, and I feel bad about it, but I'm just like, no, I'm not accepting them. I'm not. And, but you know, like back in the day, like, I mean, I still do this. If like I'll meet somebody and they'll be like you know, when I met, like, you know, if I'm out or something with somebody and they'll be like, oh, like I meet Alex, like a friend of Alex's, you know, that like he knows through work or something that I haven't met before, and they'll be like, are you on Facebook? And I'm like, yeah. And they'll be like, okay, I'll friend request you. And then they like friend request me, and then like I accept it, you know, like. But you meet somebody and then like 8 years later, you haven't seen them since that one night that you went out, and it's like, like their stuff is still coming up, and you're like, I don't even care. And they've moved 2 times and been divorced 5, and you're like, and they've had kids and everything. I mean, you're like, I don't even know you. Like, why am I still following you on Facebook? Like, that's how I feel. I just don't even know these people, you know? And then, like, I don't want to, like, unfriend somebody just because I don't know them, because then, like, what if they, like, I don't know, like, then I'm afraid that, like, their feelings will be hurt or something like that. It's just so stupid. Social media is so stupid, isn't it? It's so stupid. We've just become such a social media world. It's so crazy, you know, to think like that there was, well, so, you know, the fake of the day thing, let me tell you why it's so funny to me, okay, is that when my ex and I broke up, I came out of that relationship into a world where I didn't know about anything. I didn't know about any social media. I didn't know about dating websites. Friends of mine were telling me to get on dating websites. I didn't know about dating websites. I was scared of it. I was scared of technology. You know, all this kind of stuff, like the hookup apps and all that stuff. I've never done it. I've never been on them personally, and I don't judge anybody for it. I don't like them, okay? I just don't. Like, that's not who I am in my heart and soul. Like, I'm telling you right now, if, like, Alex and I did not make it, I could not get on those hookup sites. First of all, like, would I want to hook up with somebody every once in a while? I'm not saying that I wouldn't, but whatever happened to, like, going out and meeting somebody out and thinking they're cute and getting their number and hooking up? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and maybe that's a little too much information for people, but, like, it's just like that whole thing, like, I don't get it. Like, I have so many friends of mine, like, I mean, I would say most of my friends that are single, you know, are on the hookup apps, the Tinder and the Plenty of Fish and the Grindr and the Scruff and all that kind of stuff, right? And to them, it's just like, it's like nothing. It's just like, oh, well, yeah, like, I met this guy on Grindr and we, like, hooked up and whatever. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I came into this world of even, like, Facebook had just started. And I remember my friend was like, you got to get a Facebook. And I was like, okay. And, you gotta get a MySpace, you gotta get this, you know, and I, like, didn't know anything about it. This is my friend Liz that lives in California, and I remember, like, she sat down and, like, she showed me how to do all this kind of stuff, and, like, she helped. I mean, I remember being over at our friend's house, and she was like, here, you need to pick the song that you want to play on your page, and you guys remember all that back in the day. And then that was how it all started for me, and I was just, like, I was so naive about all of it. Like, I didn't know anything about all of that, you know? And, I'm still kind of that way a little bit. All of my stuff, my, everything I had, like, my Twitter was private until I published my book. Like, my Twitter was just my friends. That was it. My Instagram, everything was private until I published my book. And at that point, my publisher was like, I love it. Somebody was telling me that this has color to it, but I don't see any color on it. That I needed to be more active and I needed to interact and stuff like that, so I don't see any color on there. I don't think there is. I think you don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, I came into this world of just social media that I didn't know anything about. Well, I knew nothing about it, you know? And, I think this whole technological world kind of scares me a little bit. Like, I understand, like, girlfriends of mine that, like, are single and they're like, I don't want to get on, you know, the dating websites because I don't know, like, who I'm meeting and all that kind of stuff. There must be glitter in it because I put it on there's, like, now glitter on my jeans. But I understand that. Like, I mean, I think I would probably be the same way. I don't know. I think I'd be scared of it. I've actually had quite a few friends of mine that have met, women that have met men on eHarmony. That's the only one that I have heard people that have been like really, well, oh, no, that's not true. I had a friend of mine that met a guy on that farm one, and she was totally not farmy whatsoever, and she met him and they are so happy. But I've had quite a few friends of mine that have met on eHarmony, but they paid for like the one that kind of like, I don't know, like it's more exclusive or something, I don't know. They paid like for more though, so you get to see more of somebody's profile or something, I guess. I don't know how that works. I really believe if I was single again, I don't think I probably would ever date again. I really don't. Like, I've kind of thought about it. I was like, you know, if for some reason we didn't make it, I just don't think that I would date again. I just don't have it in me. I don't know. Like, unless one of my friends introduced me to somebody and I was like, okay, this, like, you know, where I just randomly met somebody somewhere, like, that's a different story, but I don't think I could do all that. I don't know. Like, it's scary to me. It's like kind of the unknown, you know? I mean, I hope that's never the case. I hope Alex and I stay together forever, but stronger marriages than ours have ended up in divorce, so you know, it's always a possibility, I guess, but I just can't imagine having to go do that again at 47. I don't know. I can hardly make friends, let alone have to start dating again. I think, like, and this is gonna sound so weird. Okay, let's just have real talk for a second, okay? Like, these are the things I think about at 47. You know, it's like I watch all these YouTube videos with, like, these younger kids and whatever, and they just, like, talk about this and talk about that and whatever, but, like, I'm 47, right? Even if I was, like, in the best shape of my life, like, I've only been nude around the same person for 11 years, over 11 years now, right? Like, that's weird to me, like, that I would be nude around somebody else. I don't know, like, you know what I mean? Like intimately that way. Like, I don't know that I could do that. Like, this is where, like, I'm very, like, naive, like innocent about this stuff, because I don't know, it's like kind of like my mom was the same way. I wouldn't say prudish. I'm not prudish at all, you know, especially when it comes to sex and things like that. I have no problem talking and whatever with, like, my partner about it. You know what I mean? I'll talk about it with my friends and stuff like that, but not like Tanya and I were talking about this the other day. Like, Tanya and I we don't have a problem, like, talking about it and using appropriate words and stuff like that, but we also don't find the need to do that. Like, we have a friend of ours that, like, just always kind of wants to give all the details of her intimate life, and it's like, I don't know, like, I just don't need to know all those details of somebody's sexual life. And not, you know, I mean, maybe when I was younger, I would ask the questions or whatever, you know, but, like, I mean, now that I'm, like, in my late 40s, I just don't care as much. Like, I don't need to know that stuff. I don't know that I ever did, but you know what I mean? Like, I just don't know. And it's not like I'm prudish, and it's not like I guess I'm not innocent, really. It's just like, I'm more private when it comes to that stuff. I don't know. Do you guys relate to that at all? Are any of you out there, like, closer to my age, or like late 30s and 40s, and I guess it could be in your 20s too, and you go through a divorce and it's just like, what do I do? Like, I just cannot imagine dating again. Like, I mean, I was never good at dating to begin with. I was never good at it. I'll never forget my friend's boyfriend worked with this guy, or was friends with this guy that I thought was so cute. Like, I had seen him out one time, and I thought he was so cute. And, so this was in between my ex and Alex. So my friend's boyfriend was like, I'm gonna set you guys up. And I was like, well, how does that work? And he's like, I'm gonna give him your number and whatever, and then he's gonna call you. And I'm like, okay. See, you guys, I'm bad at it, right? And I'm like, okay. And so he called me up and he was like, hey, would you like to go out sometime? I was like, yeah, sure. Like, what do you want to do? And he's like, why don't we go out to dinner and whatever? And I was like, okay. And he like came from something and he had to like change at like my apartment. So he like brought this bag in, and then he like came to my apartment. He like came to my apartment, went to the bathroom and like changed and like left his bag like, you know, like by the door or whatever. And I remember when he came to the apartment, he had on like khakis and like a polo shirt. He had come from like a work thing, and I thought, God, he looks so cute. He came from like khakis and like this polo shirt on, and he was really cute. He was like this Latino guy. He was really cute, and anyway, God, how old was I at the time? 36. That was 11 years ago. Oh my God. Anyway, I'm like seeing him come into my apartment, and he like came in and he was like, can I change? I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. He was like, I was like, there's the bathroom. I like showed him where the bathroom was. He came out and he had like this bag, and it was like this kind of like this beach baggy kind of thing, like from the Gap. If you guys ever had those bags from the Gap, it was like that. If you don't know, if you do even know what the Gap is, people even shop at the Gap anymore. So anyway, he came in, he like, so when he left, he goes, well, I'll just get my bag when I come back if you want to drive. And I was like, yeah, sure. So I like drove, and I remember we got to dinner. Well, he changed in this outfit, and then I remember he put on these jeans, and they were like, had holes all over them. And I know that trend has come back, but this is a point when the trend was not trendy, okay? And he put it on with like a t-shirt, and we were like going to like a nicer restaurant, like, and I just was like, why would you change out of that on a date to go into this? It looks like you're like gonna paint your house or something. It's kind of what I thought. But he was still cute. I was like, oh my God, he's still super cute. So anyway, we go on this date, and I'm like 5 minutes in, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not interested. Like, and that's totally how I am. Like if I go on a date with somebody, and like, I can tell you within 5 minutes whether I want to spend the rest of my life with them or whether I'm done. Like, it's just over, right? There was literally no spark there. I was not interested in him whatsoever. And the problem is this, okay? Like, to get real personal, but like, if I was going to have a one-night stand with somebody, which I did, but I didn't have tons of them. I just really didn't. I don't know. Like, I just didn't. I mean, even when I was sober and like single, I didn't have a lot of them. I just didn't, you know, it just wasn't like my thing really, but I did have some, you know, but it was kind of like, I didn't want to know a whole lot about you. Like, we weren't going to date afterwards. You know what I mean? Like, and so, like, once I like got to know him, I was totally not interested at all. I was just kind of like, this isn't happening. So I remember we got like done with dinner, and we went to we came back to my apartment, and we like walked inside my apartment. He was like, oh, I gotta get my bag and stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And he came inside my apartment, and like he walked in, and like I walked in like ahead of him, and like he walked in behind me, and he like closed the door. And I remember he was like shorter than me by like a lot. Like the top of his head was like right here. And I remember like he like pushed me up against the door, and like he was like trying to kiss me, like he thought it was like real sexy. And I remember his breath stank, and I just didn't think he was cute anymore at all, and I just was so over it. I was like, his breath stank, and I just was like, you're not interesting to me, and if you're not interesting to me intellectually and humorously and whatever, then you're not cute to me anymore. I mean, he just like had gone from like, his cuteness had gone from like a 7 or an 8 to like literally like a 2 or a 1, because I just wasn't interested in him as a person, and his breath stank, and he was trying to kiss me, and I just was like, I can't even remember how I got out of it. I was just real honest with people back then. I think I said something to him. I was like, you know, like, you're a really nice guy, but I'm just totally not interested. No offense. I just was like, and he was like, oh no, that's cool, whatever. And I was like, okay, see you around. And then I remember I saw him out later, like at a bar with my friend and his boyfriend, and it was real awkward. And he just like, and he wasn't like real nice about it either. He was just kind of like, hey, or something like that. And then like I saw him again after that, and he like had a guy that he was like dating, or like a boyfriend or something like that, and he was like kind of like trying to like flaunt him in my face. And I was like, you know what, I really don't care. I'm glad that you found love in all the wrong places, but I'll tell you where you didn't find love was with this one right here. See, I'm not good at it. I'm not good at dating at all. I met this guy in Louisville, Kentucky. I must have gone down there to visit a friend. I don't know why I would have been down there and met him. But I met this guy in Louisville, Kentucky. This was during that same year. And I never like would like go on a date and introduce Tanya to anybody. Like I never did that to her. And like all of our lesbian friends brought every girlfriend, even after an hour, over to Tanya's to introduce her, but I just never did. Like she like would meet somebody if I had been dating him for a couple weeks, and she knew my ex really, really well. And you know, Alex, she knows really well, but my ex, and her used to like hang out and do stuff together. So, I mean, not after we broke up, but that wasn't because of her. He distanced himself from everybody in my life. He didn't have to. I would have been totally fine with them going to have coffee or whatever. So anyway, I met this guy from Louisville, and he had like this southern accent. He was real cute too. And I remember, this is another changeroo for you. He had to like change his outfit. And this was after my mom had passed away, because he came to the condo. And I remember he came up there, and we were just gonna watch. He was like, oh no, he had to be in Indianapolis for something. He had a meeting here for work or something. That's why I think he came up here. And he was like, why would I have gone to Louisville? Oh my God, I just remembered, because my friend that now lives in California, she and I went down to Louisville for New Year's Eve that year. Okay, that was a story, man, God. So anyway, this friend of ours, so y'all know that we don't drink. So this friend of ours that we went down there to go hang out with, and my friend was staying with in Louisville, she ended up getting so rip drunk, and she and my friend got into a fight, not because of my friend, but because of this other girl. They got screaming at each other in this bar, and it was called Tanks or something, and it was this lesbian bar in Louisville, and they got screaming at each other, and this girl tried to swing at my friend, and she had already gotten her bags and stuff, and she's like, her car was in Indianapolis or something, I don't know, but her friend was supposed to bring her back the next day, or like 2 days later or whatever. Like she came to pick her up or something from Indianapolis. They drove back down. They're diehard friends today. They've like moved past all this, forgiven each other and all that kind of stuff. But she was like, they got in this fight in the bar, and this girl tried to like swing at her and stuff. It was horrible. I was like, oh my God. I said, girl, we need to go. I was like, I'm not into all this. It's trashy. So anyway, and it was like 4:30 in Louisville on New Year's Eve, you know, and I'm like, okay, I need to get home. Like, oh, that was it. We were supposed to stay down there. And I was like, I'm not staying down here. This is crazy. She goes, are you going to drive back to Indianapolis tonight? I said, hell yeah, it's 2 hours. I'll be in my bed by 6:30 or 7. I'll have had breakfast on the way. So she's like, can you take me back to Indianapolis too? And I was like, yes, let's go. So anyway, I met that guy there that weekend at the Connection. And he got my number, and we must have talked over the next couple months or something like that. And so, he came up on like a work trip or something, and we just were like gonna get pizza and like watch a movie, and he like came in and like changed, and he had these Abercrombie like sweat shorts on. Oh my god, it's gonna stop. Hold on a second. I can't believe I've talked that much. Oh my god, the battery is gonna die. I don't have my other battery with me. It's charging at home. I took it out before I left because I didn't think I was going to talk that long, and here I have been talking forever. Anyway, he had these Abercrombie sweat shorts on, and we were just like hanging around the house. He was actually really cute, but we just didn't really click at all. He was really nice. He was a really nice guy. I wasn't interested, and quite frankly, I don't think he was interested in me either. It just didn't really click. And but anyway, I was like, well, let's go over and visit my friend Tanya, because I wanted to see what Tanya thought of him, right? Because I kind of liked him. I was kind of like, yeah, he's kind of, I don't know, there's something here, but it was Louisville, so I was like, I don't know that I want to drive back and forth to Louisville, right? So he goes, well, let me change. And so when he changed, we went over to Tanya's, and then he came back, and I think by then we both knew like it wasn't happening, you know what I mean? And so when he came, he just came inside and he grabbed his stuff, and he was like, okay, I'm gonna head back to Louisville now. And I was like, okay, whatever. And he left those sweat shorts there, and I still have them. And I love them. They're like some of my favorite sweat shorts. Alex wears them sometimes too, but Alex even knows where I got them from. So yeah, I got those sweat shorts from that guy. Every time I see him, I think about that guy, and I wonder what's happening to him. Actually, you know what? We went down to Louisville. Well, he's probably not doing this anymore, and the connection's closed. But we went down there, like, the first year that Alex and I were dating, and he was, like, a bartender of the connection. Like, he was bartending there, and I was like, oh, my God, there's that guy. And he was real friendly. Like, we went up to him, and he was like, hey, how are you? And I'm like, good, and blah, 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 whatever. Alex, like, whenever I'll meet somebody of, like, that Alex knows from, like, his past, I'm always like, who is he? How do you know him? Like, Alex never asks. He could care less. But anyway. Dating stories with Peter. I have so many, let me tell you. Oh my God. No, that's about it for that year. I really didn't date a whole lot that year. I just didn't. I just wanted to go out with my friends and then come home and have food and go to sleep and start all over the next day. That's what I did. But anyway, okay, my camera is dying, so I'm gonna get off here now. I hope you guys are having an amazing Monday, unless you have other plans. But like I always say, do not have other plans. Make the most of your day, enjoy it. Do something fun today. You're exchanging a day of your life for it. Life is not a dress rehearsal. Remember that, that's important. Life is not a dress rehearsal. And do something that you'll be proud of yourself for 10 years down the road when you look back on it. Do something today that you'll be proud of down the road. 10 years down the road, and or 5, or in a week. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror every single day and say, I love you, you are important, you are valuable, and validate your existence to yourself every single day. Do positive affirmations with yourself. Make a gratitude list for all of the things you're blessed to have in your life. I do it, and I look at gratitude as an action. And most importantly, make sure that you pass it on to somebody else and let them know how important they are in your life. And today, I'm gonna pass this on to my friend that watches my vlogs every single day from high school. I love you. We're gonna get together. We're gonna make this happen this month. And you made me get through high school. And if it wasn't for my friends like you, I don't know that I would be here today. So thank you so much. And yeah, and for my other friend that watches my vlog every day, who side-eye, she knows who she is, thank you for being a listening friend every single day. I love you. And to all of you out there, thank you guys for watching. You make my dreams come true on a daily basis and allow me to do what I love and make videos. So I love you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya. Love ya.